So how do you like your Liberation Day? Where the orange baboon has liberated your 401k. He has destroyed the stock market. People have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the stock market because of his stupid trade wars. How is Liberation Day going for you? The entire world hates us.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to AfriPost. I hope wherever you're watching us from, you're having a great time. Now, it is almost 11 weeks since President Trump got into office, and people around America are having different opinions about how he has begun his second term. One thing that we know that is synonymous to President Trump's presidency is tariffs, and he has continued to dish these tariffs almost everywhere. Just the other day, he listed the kind of tariffs he's gonna hit on different countries in comparison to the tariffs that those countries are slapping America with. And a lot of reactions have been given there. We also saw the Senate vote against his plan to impose tariffs on goods from Canada. And this is something that was very profound because some Republicans decided to side with Democrats in order to defeat Trump's desire to impose tariffs on Canada. And this is something that I know Trump is not going to take lightly. So to help us understand the entire situation, I have a compilation of videos here where people are reacting to Trump's tariffs. And one thing that is common about this is that everybody is saying that Americans must brace themselves because it's not going to be easy here. Let's watch, then come back and share our thoughts.
We have some major breaking news right now. The United States Senate just passed a resolution rebuking Donald Trump over his tariffs on Canada. This is stunning. Republicans joined Democrats in rebuking Donald Trump's Canadian tariffs. The vote was 51-48. 4 Republicans joined all Democrats in voting against these tariffs. The Republicans included Rand Paul, Susan Collins, Mitch McConnell, and Lisa Murkowski. Now, the resolution technically ends the national emergency declared by Donald Trump over Canadian tariffs. Before I continue, TikTok will be banned in 2 days, so follow me on my Instagram, Substack, and YouTube. They're all linked to my bio. Now, the only issue here is that this is going to be a symbolic resolution. It has to pass the House of Representatives, and the House has no plans to take it up. And even if it passed the House, Trump would have to sign it into law, which he won't do, and you don't have enough votes to override a veto. But this is still a major sign that there are cracks within the Republican caucus. And this is a stunning public rebuke and a slap in the face and an embarrassment for the Trump White House that Republicans rebuked him. Spread the word and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Donald Trump just announced what Liberation Day is all about. And what he's done is very, very clever, I must say. He's taken a country and he says, this is the tariff they charge the United States, and in order to be kind about this, he's only going to charge them half of what he believes they are charging us. Like China, they charge us 67% according to his logic, and he's only going to charge them 34%.
So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. So 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset?
So just take a quick look at all these countries. And he posted these charts on his social media platform. And just as you can see, there's really no answer in terms of how he came up with these percentages. But one thing is crystal clear. He really wants to follow through with this. So how are people reacting? Well, take a look at this. Say goodbye to your 401ks. Is this really the golden age? Tariffs are going to be terrible for the economy. He also imposed a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles, which means a new car could cost you anywhere from $12,500 to $25,000. Happy Liberation Day, MAGA. Because what he's not telling you is that all those reciprocal tariffs are nothing more than additional taxes that you will be paying, all right? Basically, like they say, Americans will be paying an additional $6 trillion because of his tariffs. So let's look at where we're at 11 weeks into the Trump administration. You have Trump supporters who work for the federal government being fired because of Doge. We have measles and mumps outbreaks like you wouldn't believe. Grocery prices, they were already through the roof, as well as the cost for an automobile or a truck. All of that was already high. That's why you all were complaining about Joe Biden. Remember? You have people being deported that are American citizens where they're being denied their due process, right? You have literally airplanes falling out of the sky because guess what? We got some incompetent people in this Trump administration that don't value the people that work at the FAA. And you still have people out there that believe they're going to get a golden envelope from Elon Musk and Donald Trump, all right, for $5,000 or so, basically as a result of them finding this so-called waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government while they're going after your Social Security and other social safety nets. None of that money is going to come, but those programs that you depend on are about to disappear. So I say all of this to say to you Trump supporters, on Liberation Day, do you understand that he's taking the money that you worked long and hard for, right? And he's jacking up the prices by getting into a trade war with every country on the face of the earth, basically placing an additional financial burden on you through the word tariffs. It's an additional tax. So now you don't have any money and everything is costing more. Do you really see where we're headed? If not, let me break it down to you. We are heading towards a 1929 style depression, one like we've never ever seen in our life, in American history. And it's going to be a lot worse because this one will not have any eggs. Congratulations, you Trump supporters. Congratulations. You truly have played yourselves. It's like I've been saying, you won't be woke, but you will be broke. Enjoy your dear leader.
Trump is a businessman, not a politician, and he is standing on business with these tariffs. If you missed his liberation speech, Trump nailed it with these tariffs. Trump just proved to everyone that he is the ultimate negotiator because he came in at the perfect level. This is the chart of the reciprocal tariffs that he presented, and most of these are not even half of what the countries are charging us. And I know a lot of people thought that he was going to be like a bull running out the gate with these tariffs, but this is actually a great starting point. They're not so high that it would start a trade war and piss everybody off, and they're not so low that we're not getting anything out of the deal. This is the perfect starting number in order to bring these countries to the table so that we can renegotiate these tariffs. And that right there is the piece that the Democrats and the mainstream media have been missing this entire time. Yes, in the long term, Trump wants more products made in America so that we don't have this tariff issue in the future. But in the short term, this will bring the other countries back to the table. We can renegotiate the tariffs they have on us, and it will make our products cheaper now. I mean, honestly, Trump kept saying short-term pain for long-term benefits. All I'm seeing is short-term benefits and long-term benefits. Mark my words, all it's going to take is one or two major countries coming out and lowering their tariffs on us, and the rest of the countries are going to fall in line. It is feeling like Liberation Day indeed.
So how do you like your Liberation Day? Where the orange baboon has liberated your 401k. He has destroyed the stock market. People have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the stock market because of his stupid trade wars. How is Liberation Day going for you? The entire world hates us. Yeah, we're liberated, all right. We're liberated to pay higher prices for every goddamn thing that we buy now. Yeah, but the MAGA, they're so stupid. I'm liberated. You can't even buy eggs. They have to go to Denmark and beg Denmark to sell them eggs. That's liberation. You're liberated out of your money. Your pocketbook is lighter. You've been liberated out of your jobs. 20,000 of them at HHS. You've been liberated and conned. 92% did not get conned. Yep, you are liberated. You're going to be in the soup line.
So today is Liberation Day. The day where Donald Trump puts tariffs on every country he can fucking think of. I heard there was a 25% tariff on Wakanda. I heard, I could be wrong, but I did hear there was a 50% tariff on Themyscira for sending those tall Amazon women out. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it did say there was going to be a 35% tax or tariff on Talocan. It might have been Atlantis. I'm not sure. But somehow this is supposed to liberate America from whatever the fuck it is that we're supposed to be liberating America from. Are y'all tired of this yet? You know, this goes far beyond Nazi iconography. This goes to just ignorance. Pure monkey brain ignorance. Because I don't think this motherfucker knows half of the shit that he's talking about. Like I'm beginning to wonder whether or not he even knows what the fuck he's doing. He's talking about putting tariffs on Iran. What the fuck do we get from Iran? He wants them to come accept a deal after he fucked up the last deal that we had with him. And if they don't, he's gonna put tariffs on them. Does this motherfucker think tariffs is like Shazam to Black Adam and Captain Marvel and shit? Shazam! I turned powerful. And the fact that he called this Liberation Day. There's some motherfuckers that voted for this dude that can't spell liberation. They can. You gave them all the motherfucking letters in an instruction manual, they still wouldn't be able to spell liberation. But here they out there, yes, today's Liberation Day, liberating my money from my pocket. That's all he's doing. Liberating more of your money out of your goddamn pocket. Because quite frankly, these mythical countries don't pay these tariffs. We do. Y'all do realize somebody tried this before. Herbert Hoover. And look what how that worked out. But tariff man thinks we just gonna tariff our way to greatness. And then he had the nerve to sit up and say, we don't need anything from Canada. Tell you what, let Canada shut them lights off. Oh, you don't need nothing from us? Click. You need me now? Oh, I forgot, you can't see me. This motherfucker, man. This isn't making America great. They are smuggling in more eggs than fentanyl. Speaking of which, he's talking about putting a tariff on fentanyl from Canada. Who is this motherfucker, man? Who is this dude? This your mans? Is this your motherfucking mans? Liberation Day. Just some goofy shit that he's thinking. And so many of y'all out here trying to celebrate this shit. I ain't never seen a motherfucker celebrate the fact that he was gonna spit on the dick, but now you just want it raw. It's just gonna go in dry, it's gonna hurt everything. Yay! What the fuck? Kind of shit. Couldn't be me, man. Believing that cult shit. Couldn't be me. Nope. I don't believe in none of this shit. I think it's gonna fail just like everything else he touches is gonna fail. Far too many of y'all think this motherfucker knows what the fuck he's doing. He don't. He does not. Everything come out of his mouth is tariffs, tariffs, we're gonna tariff and he is tariffing that ass. Some of y'all right now can't sit down from how much tariffing that ass he's doing. Liberation Day. He also said this is the golden time in America. Do you mean golden showers? Are we all being pissed on? Like, come on, man. It's your man's? Is she dude? Greatest president of your lifetime, huh? Repeating the same shit that Herbert Hoover did. They ended up with soup lines and bread lines all over America and shit. The Grapes of Wrath were written because of it. You motherfucker. I can't wait to read Grapes of Wrath 2. This time, we asked for it. Your dumb ass. The day is here. Happy Liberation Day, everybody. Let's talk about it. Well, the day's here. Reciprocal tariffs across the board. This is what Trump was talking about. But honestly, I just think the world is overreacting. One thing I'm noticing in the mainstream media is how they're really focusing on how our tariffs will affect everyone else. No one is talking about what we stand to gain from higher tariffs or reciprocal tariffs. See, for a very, very long time, the Europeans have taken advantage of us. So I decided to go back and look at history. Let's go back to 1890. This is basically where we're going right now. We had no income tax. We had no IRS, no sales tax, none of that. And in 1890, we had such a surplus that they had to create a special committee to find out what to do with all this extra money that we have. This is probably the peak time for America right now. This is when we started to transition to the world's superpower. I don't know what the big deal is. Reciprocal tariff. Whatever you charge us, we'll charge you. But the problem with the Europeans is they charge a VAT tax. That VAT tax pretty much doubles the amount of tariffs that they'll normally charge. And so that will also be added in too. The fear from the Europeans and just the pushback in general and the way they just talk shit about Trump just shows me Trump was right. And Trump's been preaching this since the 1980s. He's always talked about the United States getting ripped off. And our trade policy has truly been shitty. I mean, to be the world's superpower, we had some of the lowest tariffs. In some cases, no tariffs at all. Every other nation has been able to tariff the hell out of us. And we've accepted it. Again, the leech was leeching. Back in 2018, Donald Trump was the only one who added new tariffs to anybody's products, especially China, since the 1930s. But all the while, we've been signing free trade deals. It's truthfully ain't been free trade. NAFTA wasn't free trade. It drained our jobs, took our businesses away. Again, in 1990, more than 95% of American car companies were in America, as opposed to 25% today due to NAFTA and USMCA. And even when it comes to USMCA, these nations were able to put clauses in there where they were still able to tax us and tariff us. So truthfully, it really wasn't free trade. And to get around the tariffs, China just built factories in Mexico and shipped their products into the United States. I mean, again, I'm just thinking we just overreacted. Truthfully, I really am. But it just shows how much the world is dependent on the United States. It also shows how stupid our trade policy was. We allowed everyone to suck us dry. When I see the world talking about, oh, we're going to go to China, go ahead. Because at the end of the day, capitalism and communism does not work. It just doesn't. And also, change is uneasy. Again, what brought our tariffs down is we had an established income tax, an IRS. So the American people were fitting the bill when it used to be other countries fitting the bill. Pretty much tariffs. Also, if you want to look at the Marshall Plan in Europe, we kept our tariffs low and let Europeans tariff us. But these nations have already developed now. The EU got money, but they so used to getting a discount. Again, leeching off of us. It was funny seeing Sky News go to China and ask Chinese workers how did it affect them. The reporter went into this slum, these low-paid workers. She was trying to make the case that the United States tariffs were going to affect them. But yet, those slumlords are the ones that are taking jobs to the United States. And it's funny, those who hate billionaires so much should hate the fact that these people are low paid, low skilled, and low wage. Again, the Democrats claim to be the party of the working class. They're not. So when the president talks about no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, no income tax for individuals making $150,000 a year, yeah, this is nothing new. The United States moved away from tariffs when they realized that they can create the IRS to pimp its own citizens to pay the bills. And the world latched on to that. Again, our tax dollars are funding the world, propping up their economy. So it's now for Europe and the rest of the world to take accountability and let's do reciprocal. So yes, it is a shift. It's crazy I hear the world talking about we need to create new markets. Where? Tell me where. Again, it's the American people who fund the world. And it's time for us to get some dividends back. What's wrong with that? So to the rest of the world, we don't hate you. Matter of fact, we got nothing but love for you. But facts have no feelings. And the fact of the matter is, there's no such thing as free trade. It's time to go to fair trade. And that's what reciprocal is all about. See, the media's job is to fearmonger. That's why nobody trusts them. But the world will adjust. It has no choice but to.
Happy MAGA Liberation Day. Oh, wait a minute. I was just going to announce that Trump is going to announce to the whole entire world, every single country, the tariffs that he has in place. And before we can even get 5 minutes into his announcement, Canada has already backed down. Every single country was like, Canada was the first one to say, well, if the U.S. removes all their tariffs, then we'll remove all our tariffs too. Do you realize other countries are tariffing us 300%, 80%? Just astronomical numbers that don't even make sense. And President Donald J. Trump waited to April 2nd to announce, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't a joke. And that's why I didn't want to make it April 1st. I wanted to make it April 2nd, because I'm very presidential like that, right? Our people are good people. Canada has just announced they're backing down. We're going to have free trade. That means we're bringing in billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in. And to all those people who are crying about tariffs raise prices, it raises inflation, oh my gosh. No, it doesn't. It gets countries like Canada to back down. Oh, in Canada, you're looking kind of lonely over there, Canada. Donald Trump may want to make you a 51st state. So because if you're a 51st state, you don't have to worry about tariffs, baby. You have the protection of the military and the protection of our people, our great country. You can even keep the national Canada anthem. You could keep that. But you're going to be the 51st state. And watch it happen, because when tariffs come into play, everybody wants to be fair and play with Donald J. Trump, that is. Tell him that, Jason. So what I want everyone to do is to have fun and enjoy the money coming in, and subscribe to Daddy Jason, the hottest page, the hottest videos on TikTok. And hey, I'm on Cameo too. It's going to be incredible.
Okay, guys, get ready. It's going to be a long day. It's Liberation Day. And let's review.
There's people on the planet.
Trump is going to announce tariffs today as early as 4 o'clock p.m. that are going to strike many countries across the world. Japan, South Korea, and China have all said that they are going to most likely respond together as a unit. The European Union has also said that they are going to strike together as a unit. Canada said that they are going to strike against the United States. Mexico called Canada and said that they are ready to respond with Canada as well if they wanted to join forces. This is not an exaggeration when I say most of the entire world is about to be against the United States today. Buckle up, it's gonna be a long one.
What up, all my American citizens, and happy Liberation Day. April 2nd, 2025 is going down in history as the day the United States was liberated from the rest of these countries that are using us, that are milking us, taking everything we got, applying all type of tariffs to us, and then when we apply them to them, they say that we're unfair. I've noticed a lot of these treasonous American citizens, they get happy when a country put a tariff on the United States. That's what the United States get. That's what the orange man get. But then when Trump turns around and say, okay, we're going to apply tariffs right back. Oh, Trump is a fascist dictator. He don't know what he's doing. Trump is protecting American businesses, protecting the jobs. Forever 21, an American company has said they have to file for bankruptcy because they cannot compete with the fast, cheap fashion that's coming out of China from companies like Temu. Trump already told y'all China can flood the market with cheap products and straight destroying the economy. I'm just saying, what makes y'all so upset with that? What makes y'all upset at the fact that Donald Trump is protecting American businesses? What makes y'all upset that he's secured billions, trillions of dollars in investments from different countries? Why are y'all upset at the fact that Donald Trump has indeed brought back, jobs back to the United States? I'm just trying to understand, where is all the anger coming from? Liberation Day is a good day. As a matter of fact, a lot of these countries that had their chests all puffed up and poked out about Trump's tariffs and we're going to retaliate and apply tariffs and ruin their country. Well, a lot of them are folding. Canada is one of them. Canada has already said on Liberation Day, look, man, Trump, we got it. We had our chest pumped out. We was just pump faking for the media. We are willing to drop our tariffs if you all do the same. And Trump already told y'all, remember, this is what we voted for, Reciprocal Trade Act. When y'all want y'all prices dropped, all you got to do is drop yours, we'll drop ours, we'll meet it. It's reciprocated. Thank you, Donald Trump. We are getting exactly what we voted for.
Now we know that tariffs is Donald Trump's way of governing, and he seems to think that with that tariff he has a lot of leverage over other countries. And I think I saw United Kingdom retaliating against Trump's tariffs, and also Canada did the same. But right now the Senate has said enough is enough. They are not going to allow Trump to continue creating this economic war with their allies. So how can we judge America's economic prospects in the future This is what research says. Donald Trump's tariff implemented in early 2025 imposed a 25% duty on imports from Canada and Mexico and a 10% tariff on goods from China, with a lower 10% rate on Canadian energy. These measures, aimed at curbing illegal immigration and fentanyl trafficking, could significantly undermine America's economic prospects. Economists warn that such broad tariffs disrupt supply chains, raise costs, and risk igniting trade wars, threatening growth in an already fragile post-inflation recovery. The US relies heavily on Canada and Mexico, its top trading partners, for over $680 billion in goods annually, including critical inputs like auto parts, timber, and produce. A 25% tariff could increase production cost, adding up to $3,000 to car prices and raising grocery bills, as Mexico supplies over 60% of US vegetable imports. This could fuel inflation, erode consumer purchasing power, and shrink household incomes by an estimated $1,200 to $2,500 annually, per analysis from the Peterson Institute and Tax Foundation. Beyond domestic imports, retaliatory tariffs from Canada and Mexico, already in motion, with Canada targeting $155 billion in US goods, could slash America's exports, which support 17 million jobs. Industries like agriculture and manufacturing, key to red state economies, face losses as Canada boycotts US products and Mexico threatens reciprocal levies. The resulting economic contraction, potentially 0.3% to 1.6% of GDP, could push the United States towards stagnation, combining stagnant growth with raising prices. Global market uncertainty has already rattled investors, with stock dips reflecting fears of prolonged trade tensions. Some Republican senators like Rand Paul of Kentucky and Susan Collins of Maine opposed Trump's Canadian tariffs, breaking party lines in a symbolic Senate vote to revoke the emergency declaration justifying them. Their resistance stems from economic pragmatism. Paul, representing an auto-heavy state, fears job losses on manufacturers like Ford face chaos from disrupted North American supply chains. Collins highlights Maine's integrated trade with Canada, its top partner, where tariffs could cripple tourism, farming, and lobster industries. Senators like Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski also joined Democrats, signaling unease with Trump's unilateral approach, arguing it oversteps Congress' constitutional tax authority and harms constituents still reeling from inflation. While Trump allies defend tariffs as leverage against fentanyl, these dissenters prioritize avoiding self-inflicted economic wounds, fearing a backlash from voters and businesses in their states. So generally, if you look at the economic prospects of the United States from that analysis, you are able to see that a lot of businesses are going to be affected by the tariffs that President Trump is imposing on countries like Canada and Mexico. We also look at the prospects of American workers. When there is a reduced exportation, the industries that sell to other countries will have to make losses, which would in turn lead to job cuts, and that can affect everyday Americans directly. So, as people may see it, President Trump has decided to use tariffs as his own way of making economic change to America. But I think from the advice we continue getting from different economists, it is just good to conclude that the tariffs that President Trump is imposing may not have a positive outcome, and therefore he needs to rethink his stand. Tell me down in the comment section what you think about this. And if you're watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and also share. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless you. Goodbye.